with your conversation.
And I got a response from him. I just haven't had a chance to forward it on yet. But basically it says, this is different than what everyone was anticipating, and that he would talk with Baker Tilly and get back to us.
Okay.
Nothing substantive, but
Right.
acknowledge that he
That he got it.
received it. Yep.
And that, and it's like,
Are they done on there?
We gotta go back and finish some stuff.
They're more than ready.
Yeah. I don't like what they
Try to
are.
get some seed down.
Hoping to have it growing before they,
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping too.
but the rain kind of slowed us down again.
okay, while we're waiting, I noticed there's, in our alley behind the inn, that you got blacktop work patched with it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find anything in there, or was that just a patch job?
There was a manhole buried about 8 inches below the alley, so we
Okay.
brought it up. Cody's building line was broken, so we had to tear up back behind Cody's building and put it back together very carefully. So we put that in, I don't know how they did it. I hope we never have to go back there again.
Sounds like.
Yes. If we had to go back there again, we might have to reach out to somebody a lot smarter than us. A plumber or somebody.
Let's hope not.
All right, we good to get started?
We're good to get started whenever you call the meeting to order.
All right, let's do the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna start with ordinance.
We're gonna start with ordinances to try to get to the finish line.
Okay, great.
Okay. Page 65, zoning and regulations. Just read through kind of and see if we see anything. I started right here. Just go through and see if you see anything that sticks out.
So under the notice, is that changed with some of the social media stuff? Or is that kind of language that would be 156.092? Is that something that's the general update would handle?
You still have to put in the newspaper.
Right.
General circulation. And you put it in the lobby, right, Judy?
Yes.
That would probably be the, yeah.
There's a statute that governs this at the state level, so we would just want to take a look to make sure that that aligns, which I
With
can
it.
tell you here in just a minute.
And I was sent off to the newspaper too.
And so actually it might make more sense to just reference that state statute in there.
They probably will if the new code book.
I would think so, yeah. It's gonna be under 531, but then I just gotta remember which. It might be section 2. Let's see if I- Yes, Indiana Code 5-3-1-2.
Okay, so 156.093 is what now?
Oh, 9-2.
Oh, 092. Oh. That's,
And so that notice is governed by Indiana Code 5-3-1-2.
okay,
And I think there's gonna be a subsection, like a letter in parentheses. I'm just double checking. It's gonna be lowercase b.
it's gonna be,
Lowercase b.
Okay.
So, and it basically aligns with this, though, that it just needs to be published one time, at least 10 days before the date of the hearing of the meeting. But it might be a good idea to reference that Indiana code in case the code changes.
okay,
So when they redo this book, like if there's new zoning stuff, will they add that in there automatically?
Yeah, they'll attach it, this American Publishing Company will know if something that you have in there doesn't align, or if there's an update
Okay.
to the Indiana code that.
They'll have to, okay.
Yes, they'll alert you to that.
do you have any idea how much this costs to have something like this done?
I don't know for sure. I thought that Pat had given that information at one point in time, but I can give him a call and find out.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea.
I thought I remember a number like 10, but I could be way off.
Can you,
I'll reach out and find out and get some information, try to get something in writing from him and share.
Do we have any special exception permit? What is that? Doesn't you do that?
We've had one special acceptance since I,
Do they get a permit?
it's just, it's one of those things where they brought it to you guys and you voted on it,
Yes.
and then you can let it go.
Okay.
It's not necessarily me deciding, you guys.
And that happens through the BZA.
Correct. That's what I'm
Special
kind of,
exception process.
because it says there's an application in use of permit, so I didn't know if that was.
And you're not quite there yet, but you will get to section 156.168, and it's gonna talk about special exception uses, so with a special exception, you can do certain things in certain zoning.
Okay.
And that'll all start to come more sensitive.
So it keeps talking about the zoning inspector. Did we talk about that last time? Is that you, Matt, the zoning inspector, or?
I think we decided that was. It's not Christmas, Corey.
Yeah. Just going.
Just going. You don't even want to stop it, right, Karen?
The end.
We literally got about 10 pages left.
Yeah. And we done. And a lot of this is, I'm sure, dictated by,
So the only thing I think is gonna be more up for discussion is gonna be R1, R2, B1, B2, and
Okay.
decide what we wanna have in those locations, if we wanna change.
Okay. Yep. I'm coming up on that, so. I was gonna say, a lot of this just seems general.
Why under, where are you? 156, 128? Why when it says the hearing shall be not less than 20, and then in parentheses it says 10 rather than 20? Is that accurate, or is that a type of?
Judy.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
No, on 156.128, there's a spot, that says the hearing shall not less than 20, and then in parentheses it says 10. It should say 20.
So do we want to do 20 or do we want to do 10?
Because it's referring to a public hearing scheduled after a petition is received, you're probably have to publish it.
Do we charge a fee for our application?
We don't even have an application.
Because this
I
is,
think
the fee
that he
is,
was gonna look
the
there.
fee is established by the town according to.
Yes,
So-
I have an application for a zoning change. Do you need an application created for special exception also?
I don't have any of that.
Schedules and fee.
So,
So we can charge for this, the variances and all that?
Yes.
Zoning permits, variances.
so is this the section that would control? And if so, is there language that would address it? Things that are beyond utilities like CO2, gas lines, windmills, transmission lines.
All of those things are kind of part of zoning planning. Right, like we have a district for that. So, special exception maybe, some of them are type of zoning.
What's RDD?
A rural development district. So, like the Reynolds project that we looked at before, that was the RDD zoning process. So some of those things would fall under that, but not everything.
Not.
some of, yes, some of those things are not addressed.
But they would be addressed some.
Well, I don't think that they are, is what I think you're getting at.
Right.
Mhm.
Would they be in
So
their
do they
own?
need to be
Going forward, yes.
later?
In here, we just need to add sections.
Okay, so, all right, so how do we do that?
We'll need to work on thinking about, what we want to add to it.
In this section or a different one? Sorry, Becky.
No, that's okay.
I'm just,
That's probably missing here, so, this is something that I can do some research on and can send you guys maybe some thoughts, and then we'll talk about it at a future meeting maybe.
yeah, I mean, I just don't want to be, have this and then all of a sudden here comes this major issue and we're
Yep.
deer in the headlight.
Do we have a certified zoning?
So in 156-108 E, it says, will be adequately by essential public facilities and services such as highways, streets, police, fire protection, drainage, collective refuge, dispose of water, sewage, schools. Are those needs identified anywhere?
So,
Or standards for those?
so these letters A through I in here are things that, will need to be considered by the BZA when they're evaluating a petition for special exceptions. And they'll need to make findings in the minutes as to each one of those factors.
And so where do they decide that they're okay or not okay?
So they're gonna just sort of use their own, yes, their own judgment, their own opinions. However, there are some things that perhaps not everyone on the BZA is knowledgeable enough to know whether or not this specific proposal has adequate drainage structures or something like that. So in those kind of situations, the BZA may reach out to other people or engineers or other experts in particular areas in order to get
So,
that.
so that would be one of those where you directed to somebody that's expert in the area, but we wouldn't general, like a guideline sheet for that.
Right. Because the drainage structures you need for one project might be totally different than for a different type of project, so. I think that it's gonna be a pretty fact specific inquiry into each of those.
And that's that, you know.
So, on 156, 111, you know, the zoning appeals approved something, but I thought that went from there to the town board.
Not the BZA, no, the BZA's actions are final, the plan commission is what is advisory and constructive.
Okay. Pardon my ignorance.
No problem, it's stuff we don't
Yeah,
encounter.
you,
I figure I only get one shot at it.
I didn't realize there's not this much in here about front yards.
They're talking about green space,
Yeah,
it's a problem, so
there's a lot of these numbers, it's,
Sounds like it's a problem that needs to start going to BZA.
there's the ones that's 7,500 square feet, lot. Yeah, there's,
For.
well, there's a whole thing on front yards, I didn't know that.
That's what it's looking, I'm like secondary buildings, 16 feet high.
that's another problem, I want to address, if you have to put in a lot, if you want to store a camper, sometimes if you peak in 16 feet, you don't have enough height for a garage or a big camper, so, one of the problems that. that's one of the things we'll address.
The problem is that they need to go to the BZA for a variance, correct? And they have to request the variance,
Or you change it,
and we could change it, or they could go to a different zoned area for the proper building height.
Under, do we have a fee established, one, under, 156, 127, 9, says a fee established by town council, to establish,
Nope,
24, we've established that fee.
I don't think we have a fee. Who's gonna ask? We can get a fee for it though. I think we should.
We can establish one, I don't know that you have yet, and so if you don't have fees currently, any of these types of applications, so you'll have a use variance, development standards variance, special exception, change of zoning, development plans, things like that, we'll want to think about what those application fees should look like. So some of those things require more from the town, charge more than fees for those things.
Do other towns charge usually?
Yeah, I think they do, but I don't know what their fee schedules
Fees
look
are.
like, but I'd be happy to ask around first.
Thank you.
So the purpose of those fees would be, A, to cover the cost of doing work, and B, keep people from
dangerous owners.
stupid ones at you.
Yeah.
to make it high enough that they don't wanna just do that willy-nilly. Do you have any of those?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously. A lot of things have changed as far as the application and permitting and, you know, fees. In my opinion.
Sounds like a lot of these people asking for stuff different than it's per person to the town hall to give a variance.
Yeah, we'll need to make sure that we get those developed. I apologize, I didn't realize you guys didn't have any of those.
Yes, we have it.
So we'll get that all developed and then we'll make sure that you guys have those going forward, so they're right at your fingertips when people need them.
When this is all said and done, you know, to be able to have this all, have the applications online. I was thinking about putting a QR code on my business cards. So they can just go to that and I can directly the link, print the application for permit.
Right, to get it.
Things like that, that'll make, streamline things a little bit, take the phone calls and the people stopping here and these guys, you know. That's the ideal world.
Definitely, we can make like a whole download section and we can have the building permit application and then all these different types of things. And then if they're confused and they're not sure what they need,
Then
they
we
can
call.
contact you.
Two, I don't like it. I don't like this stuff. So what do we do? So what do we do when the property is in the R1 and they have a requirement to have 2 off-street parking spaces?
Yeah, that's what I was at.
Right?
I don't know a lot of them that have that per dwelling,
Yeah, right. So what?
per
We need
unit.
to bring those into compliance.
If this was enacted, houses were built that way.
Oh,
Then you can't use this retroactively. So then those prior non-conforming uses get to continue to exist until they are.
What about like, so we have this book, which a lot of times says 1983 code. Are we able to reflect back on the 1950, 1940 book?
oh, what is this, R1?
I'm an R1.
Mine too.
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm reading R1.
That's one.
Are we able to look at the other one for those instances then? Is that how it works? So like we have this book, but there was a book before this. So those older homes, if there was
You
that
gotta
time
skip
frame,
ahead.
you can.
I'm just kind of going through, skimming.
Here's my thoughts on that. So we have very little documentation of anything past about 8 years ago as far as permitting and applications and that stuff, inspections, that kind of thing. So unless we know exactly when something was built, blah, 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 we don't have record of that.
But we know once that's built, because we can check it.
Yeah, I guess you check through the county and
Right.
stuff like that, whatever.
Right.
And then I'm saying, we have very little documentation here on that. Like, when I,
Oh, your personal documentation. on the
Yes.
house.
We-
So-
like, people call me all the time, they want to do a property rundown, and purchase that property. They want to know if they have an underground tank, and they have any permits active, what conditions were issued in the past. If it's past 8 years ago, we have nothing.
Right, but when it comes to enforcing some of the ordinances and we gotta figure out when it's built, we can figure that out. And I know for a fact that there's at least one book that is older than this. I guess my question is anything not also applicable to this date?
And the answer to that, without going through items.
So, one is action by the town council, this is, okay, it must do so by 3/4 of the full membership. Since there are 3 board members, yeah, that pretty much says the full board has to vote on it.
Is that the 3/4 one?
Yeah,
I saw that.
yeah, so, no, I'm okay with that, that just says, hey, the whole board has to vote on stuff, you can't just have part of the
Yeah.
board.
But isn't it a situation where if you know that 2 of you available, if you decide to vote, you know, that way?
tie breaking,
Yes.
but not for establishing a quorum.
Because a quorum of 3/4.
Yeah.
Well, half of Julian shows up, there you go.
Yep.
I don't know if that's something we need to mess with or just assume we gotta have a full board.
Or we should change it, right?
Well, do we want to make it 2/3 or do we want the full board?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good if
One right here,
one wasn't here, is it okay or?
I would say.
Well, if one isn't here,
You can't,
then you have to have. One isn't here.
Well, if one's not here.
Quorum, but
you can't vote, right? The two?
you can vote with two, but, and then Judy, I guess, the clerk treasurer is your tiebreaker.
Yeah, but that's not 3/4.
Right. So, yeah, in the event that you're looking to deny or modify the recommendation of the plan commission, then you would need a full board to do it. If
Yeah.
you're accepting the recommendation of the plan commission, you could do that with just two of you.
If you don't like it, you better show up.
So are we changing that?
I don't think so. But we don't, there's no need for a change then, right?
You don't have to.
Under 156, 161, residential district standards, it says permitted use single-family dwellings and manufactured homes. Should there be a size designation to that?
You're talking about R1 and the size minimums.
Yeah,
I think it's listed in there. It says something like 960 square feet or something.
Oh, the lot
That's gonna
size?
be in D3, on page 72.
Okay.
The other question that I have is, say you have a townhouse, it's one structure with two, there's more than one occupancy.
Yes, so not in R1.
That's what I'm saying, we had situations in the town, in our one section, we already repeated on the
It's because they were permitted illegally.
Right.
So,
So that's a prior non-conforming use. So you wouldn't be able to get a permit for that going forward, but they're allowed to continue to exist unless or until they're changed.
but didn't you say, Mike, you were hoping that if you were gonna do something, you would have a few townhouses and stuff out there?
So that fits in R2.
But we gotta make sure we think about zoning,
Or what, yeah.
how we want, I mean, just,
Right.
would it be easier to allow those instances in R1, change that verbiage to allow townhouses in an R1, zoning, or have local zoning in that subdivision? That's
I
not,
mean, I wouldn't want to change R1 without a really good reason to want to change some of that stuff.
I'm saying, for instance, the townhouses out in Boozley. If you want something like that out there in your subdivision, then you're gonna have multiple zones out there in that area. Do you want that, or do you want it to change?
Well, I think like, I haven't made it all the way through, but I feel like you get into R2 or whatever that particular one is, it's gonna include all the same requirements. It's like, so R2 is everything that R1 has plus this.
Right.
Yes.
But you have all or two out there, you might not want some,
Yeah, when
Gotta think
the
deeper
when the
about it.
planning comes time, there's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of thought put forth on what's on what.
Right.
This thing's going to explode.
Julie.
I had Murphy's food for lunch, and it was delicious.
I'm just trying to make comes to time for the new.
Right.
Please.
I think that's like super cart before horse thing that we're going to have to put forth like syllabus of things to do when that time. It's going to be overly expensive. Actually, hurts my head.
And it could be one of those things based on that law, if they have covenants, I think we can also include those types of things in the covenants, don't you?
Potentially, yes, but covenants typically are subdivision specific and set by the developer, and the town usually doesn't get involved. So if you want it to be something that the town is going to be enforcing,
That's what I thought too, but sure.
Are these lot coverages suitable in D?
It gets complicated at times. For instance, the new house we go out, there's that lot of shape, trapezoid type shape.
Yeah.
To get enough percentage of front yard opposed to back, and the back yard is way bigger because of this.
Right.
So very little front yard. So you have to push the house back and until you get that point. So it's one of those things where I guess you just ask for a special exception.
Yeah.
But moving
Or
forward,
maybe we don't want to.
right, we can ensure moving forward that everyone knows and goes through these regulations, and that if they want something that's outside of what is written here, then they are required to apply for a variance and come to the meeting and get that figured out. It's as unfortunate as that is, that I don't even know what I'm talking about, but just in theory, say someone wants to build a house on this lot, and they're like, oh, shoot, the house only wants this big, but I don't want to make it smaller. but it's not gonna fit good, so I outside of the town center again, that's unfortunate for them. They can build a small house or apply for a variance. I think just allowing them to do it, that's not very good.
No, like, so for instance, like, a couple of those houses that were built out there, the road kind of comes in, kind of a circular asphalt there, like a little turnaround. And then in the past, is we've come in and cut the asphalt so that goes straight, because they didn't need that,
Right.
which allows them to have that, to get to that point where they have that percentage of the front line.
Right.
So. Do that twice out there.
Yeah.
Not to change the subject, but how's everything going with Wayne Franklin?
You're doing good. We really haven't
I
seen
see
much
a
of
lot
his
of
house.
dumpster activity.
His house is getting cleaned out, so.
I haven't been by there.
They got a
So, big
dumpster.
difference.
They got a big dumpster. They've already filled it twice.
Yesterday we were just throwing
They're
some out.
just
They had it
getting
all
started.
day. Like all day out of the top window. So it's moving. Get there.
So not more than 35% of the area of the principal and accessory buildings they're on. I'm thinking in terms of, like you drive up and down the road like Cedar Lake and whatnot, these houses. I mean, is that,
Cookie cutter houses with, no yards.
yeah,
That's why this kind of stuff needs to be forced.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. We need to think about those things when we're doing this new utility zone, because, we have a wall to, and ask me, hey, I want to put up a shed in my yard, and it'll be, it's not a shed, it's a pole.
Yeah.
It's taking up half their backyard. But now they've lost their green space, and that's not allowed, so you have to tell them no.
Right.
And now what they're doing, some of the people, they buy another lot next to it, and now they put the building on that, which takes away somebody building another one. So, this is the stuff we need to think deeply about, what we're going to be looking forward, if we're going to be doing new construction. And one other thing I think we need to enforce is some kind of a state marking for houses, house numbers. Some people have them, some people don't, some people have them in the wrong spots, and you can't see them. You could maybe probably base it, and there's some houses don't have them at all. You figure it out by process of elimination, that
By the front door, illuminated by a porch light or reflective.
it's, going on fire calls and other calls and police calls, and it's a serious situation, sometimes you can't see a number. So maybe we have a standard, it has to be here on this location, and so big, and, lit up or whatever.
Whatever, so you guys can find it.
is that in any code?
I've never seen it in here, so
I haven't seen it.
Do we need one?
I think we need,
I don't think you need to have it lit up though.
not to say,
Some, you got a spotlight or flashlight,
yeah,
you
somewhere
can light
like,
it up that way.
Well, normally, people have a lot on the front porch.
Porch anyways,
I got, my mailbox has it, so I mean,
and that's the other thing, keep the mailboxes off the road, because they're right on the road, you can see them,
Yeah.
especially if they're reflective. Then you have the houses that don't have mailboxes on the road.
but they have attached their mailbox big enough so you can find it.
I just think that should be attached somewhere on the front door, that it's visible.
Well, is this, I guess that's out for advertising.
myself a delicatessen from in B1.
Thinking about it too much.
What?
We just to have. Once in a while, have social media people throw on our website, and our social media. If you don't know whether you're not need a permit in the town of Portland, it doesn't have to call us. But I've had two roofing companies in the last working out that have decided to say, hey, you don't have a permit. No legal. Maybe you should have called and asked. So now the whole process of moving. I hate shutting down work if they're not.
They're not permitted, yeah.
I know what the best. I think maybe throw it out there on social media once in a while, put it on a page.
I think I had a hard time to work with you. I think so. Last I heard. It was started.
Yeah. It's tough to navigate. We know our page.
I don't think it's nervous, so it's tough even to add stuff, new stuff.
In that, did you work with?
Cease and desist.
Yeah.
So what do you develop?
Quite a bit in front of both.
Twenty years with the kid.
Yeah, B1. Yeah, pretty good at the gas station.
Yeah, so if you were born before 1990, they called the same filling station where you put
I was
your auto
not.
coach.
I was not. So bulk gasoline is probably like a big station, like a transfer station.
Really old FS. And what's it,
Yeah, it's
that,
a big one.
So are these lot area slash setbacks, are they still, good? Or do those need to be, I mean, I don't know, yeah, mentally, look at something like, you need a width of 60 feet. Is that good or not? I don't know.
So here's the thing, like, for instance, your sidewalks.
Yeah.
4 foot from the property line.
Right.
Okay, it's great, but a lot of these people aren't wanting to pay to have the property surveyed, so. I'm not a surveyor. I'm not gonna pay the surveyor. They're desperate. 4 foot is not a whole lot for area,
Right.
and, well, it's kind of, it's one of those things. It's like you said earlier about the houses up into the lake. You know, they them all together. You might have a 3 foot setback in the property line. Depends on what you want. The board, it's kind of. We didn't have that problem so much 2 years ago, but over the last couple of years, we've been doing a lot of new construction, and that's what things, Like for instance, Smith gentleman on Allen Street. Him and his neighbor had a dispute about his new building that's over there. Because the neighbor thinks it's on his property. I said, what's the civil situation, pretty easy. I'm not paying that in property survey, I'm not surveying it. You have a survey, and then you have to enforce on the property. Obviously, didn't want that, wanted to, pay for the survey. So they came to an agreement pretty quick. And it's,
So what if it's 2 feet and 2 feet? Yeah, and they, you know, so you can't build, you can't give them the permit unless you know where that line is, so they have to have the survey.
not
Should be something they're
necessarily.
doing
Well,
private.
if they're- Better example. A gentleman had a slot surveyed. And which they staked off. But the neighbor said, no, he was wrong. Well, I said, hey, listen. Your house is too close to the property line. But you are. In reality, he could force you to take your house, and shrink your house down because it's too close to the property line. And they kind of just said, okay, we'll just not do it. So, you know, it's one of those things where we don't get involved, it's more of a civil thing, correct?
Yes.
So I'm just going off. Those tiny on the property, because you know, they're 8, 10 feet property lines. What I'm saying is if you get a situation where we are guessing it, maybe we should be applying the survey. If we're but there's nothing in the book now that says we apply the survey.
Right. But the thing is, you don't know if you can apply the law if you don't know.
Right.
The line is.
Exactly. It's
I just gotta tell you, I had a gun waved at my head one time over one of these.
that's right. People get pretty excited about it.
Wasn't any fun. Bailey's Corner, by the way.
Oh, well. What year?
Way back.
I said, you're probably lucky they just waved it at you if it was a Bailey's Corner.
No, they had it was a situation, common driveway, and the one gal was running his hose and it ran over to the other guy's garden, the other woman, and so they decided that they were gonna have the survey done. And the survey went right down the middle of the driveway between their two house trailers. And so I'm pounding the stake in, and the guy comes up to look where the stake is, and the woman took her rifle and pointed it at my head and said, "You get off my land!" And it was like, well, then she pointed, thinking, you know, at first it was pointed at me, and then she pointed at the guy. And we pounded that stake in real fast and got the hell out of there.
Where was this at?
This is Bailey's Corner, over in north of Winston, like in that area that's no bueno. And so anyway, we went back the next week and they railroad ties down the middle of the driveway with the fence. But I can tell you, having a gun stuck in your face was just kind of disconcerting.
Right.
I think, you know, 156, 163, could we just put a no?
It's already,
That trailer,
it's already not in there. If you look
Oh, wait a
at,
minute, we're being recorded, aren't
if you look at the zoning map behind you, Mike,
we? Yeah,
you're gonna see that there's nothing zoned like that.
good.
Well, there's a slide here, if I remember reading it, mobile homes only allowed in mobile home parks.
Yeah.
So, I had a call the other day, actually last week, wanting to put a mobile home on the property just north of Benny Rich's house. And I told him no. I said mobile homes only allowed in the mobile home park. And then they asked me about a camper, can they put a camper temporarily while they're building their house? I said, no, you cannot put a camper inside the city limits. You're allowed.
Okay, did they tell you where they wanted to build that house?
Yes.
There's no address.
I hope it's not. I can give them an address. If the lot's big enough to give them an address, but there's not an address established right now. It's only been a lot. So, yeah, I dealt with that for about 40 minutes one day. A lot of conversation about that property, which is right next to where Wayne's living.
Oh,
Oh, I thought it was further down,
It's
I
just-
thought it was on West down.
No, it's on, actually on Doss.
Oh,
I thought he was moving to Falmouth.
No.
no,
He rented the
we
house
still
in
got
Falmouth,
him.
right across from people.
Sorry. Nobody can understand that anyway. Oh, it's just Judy. You all need a little sticker up here. Where it says recorded. And if anybody knows me, they wouldn't expect anything.
In the R, keep the hydrants, the exception only at 16 feet. There's, if you want a special exception, go from special exception, is that what you want?
156.16 residential districts, those structures permitted which are not residential in nature may be increased in height to 60 feet when front and rear yards are increased in depth and size and width 1/2 foot for each foot that the structure exceeds the height limitations for the district. So they can put in for a variance as long as they have the right land and space. So if you have X amount of space and you want to go more than that, they could come in here and request to go higher.
Yeah, but you're getting into R2, you're not going more.
No, I'm talking about zoning regulations in general. This is in regards to height, right?
you might be in the R1 set.
I think you got to do R2, you're going
He's to
Not
the very
169?
back. Where are you at?
This is just in general. So this is under special exception and usage. So 156.169, which
80.
is in regards to all residential districts.
It says R for all.
So I guess what I'm looking at it is that there's a way for them to do this. And if they want to, they should put in some sort of paperwork and do it properly. Right? Look like that's what's there for.
Oh, we're going to increase by 1 foot, 1/2 foot.
For each foot
Each foot
exceeds
needs to go
16.
up. But if they, so they have a big enough yard.
If they have the yard space,
it doesn't have
but
to-
they can't just do it. They have to come and request, right? They have to request the special exception. 156.169.
Height, yard, and area exceptions. I don't know.
To me, if they have a big enough yard space, they wouldn't have to come.
Oh, yeah.
They already have, they would need the standard.
Other structures there are. Sounds like it.
Only upon these specific terms, like. They have to look at the commission to get approval.
If they want to go to 20 feet, they would have to have a certain percentage of yard space.
So if they want to go above 16, what do they need to do?
That's just the commission.
And he just would say, yeah, your yard's big enough so you can do that. Perfect. Okay, back up on
No,
that.
no, I've never referenced that area.
So, in the industrial district, under 156, 166, No building in this district shall exceed 80 feet in height. Okay, that's fine for a building, but like these towers down there, what,
It sounds like the same thing we have when Patterson do this drain gun out here.
Yeah.
He asked for a special exception. I do, right?
Yep.
With the planning commission.
Planning, yep.
And he asked.
One section 9.3 says in all districts, chimneys, cooling towers,
We'll wait
elevated
for all the
bulkheads,
meetings.
fire towers, gas
I didn't
stations,
decide not to do it.
big elevators, slurring, penthouses, stacks, safe towers, looks like all that shit is already covered.
So, all that stuff is kind of mentioned.
Is that right? I'm sure that.
Yeah, almost free.
So the honorable to the use of 22 unincorporated members of the
Yes.
Do we want to raise the fine at the end?
it's up to $300 a day. Right?
Yeah, I guess it is pretty.
What do you want to do about the farm?
It says 100 to 300, so per day. Yeah, yeah, sorry, 310, but we can do it per day, so that would be pretty substantial.
He's Snoopy.
Okay, is it seen by or not?
Question for you, Becky, so if a tenant of a building in town calls me and asks me to come inspect because their landlord won't do anything about, except for instance, like cockroaches or, is it not, it's my opinion they should call the health department. Should not fall on me, in my opinion. Is that not correct or not?
If it's a health issue, they should try the health department. If it's a, building standards kind of issue, like if it's a construction issue or something like that. then
But I've been referring them, I know they call me about rodents or insects. They help. You call the health department and they send somebody out to inspect it. So make sure I do that.
But certainly if you have something that rises to the level of being like unfit for human habitation, then it should probably just be an
Which we've done in the past.
Oh,
That's
gotcha.
I don't see any.
Haven't seen any majors.
Clean.
Partly just not noticing. Yeah, you look through it.
Let's take the wings out.
I will tell you, I did speak with all you know, but, so, Mark Hoover did get to the property, probably obviously put in a protest about the city. Come back,
That junk is still.
he's getting ready, he's gonna come back, he didn't have a way to haul that out of there yet.
Okay.
He's also be coming to me for a permit, he wants to put up a couple of apartments there.
Really?
Apartments,
You told.
so
Will they fit?
I think he's gonna do a couple studio apartments, I think they will fit. Grigsby Properties, the building on Golf Street, off of Golf Street, the shack, where the trees fall down. Chad's supposed to be here by the end of the month to tear that down and haul it out. That building is coming down, he's supposed to stop and get a building from there, demo here for Steve. And the other property on Owen Street, he is gonna put a snow fence around the perimeter of the foundation that's open right now. Keeping anybody from falling in there. And he's gonna clean up the weeds. He's already mowed in here, it'll be mowed. But the weeds need to be controlled back and work on all the hills and stuff. And then I've not heard anything from Dean, so because I sent a letter to him. because the other one did not reply. So I guess, look at my email, when I gave them 10 days to reply, or fine to start to refer. So I'll follow up with that tomorrow and see what we're at and the dates for that. But everything was certified, so I know I got it right.
So, are we done here?
You're done.
So what do we need to do?
You start compiling stuff?
So I'll reach out to the company that we use to publish these and start through the process, and I'll work with Judy to compile my notes and her notes together and ask them to put together.
Can we go through
So
that?
we don't do anything until we see the draft, right?
Correct.
And we can leave it all in.
Right?
I do have another and unrelated item for you guys that I wanted to make sure gets brought up today, because it's a little bit time sensitive, so if you don't mind.
So you're fine.
There is another national opioid settlement fund, through Purdue Pharma and the Sackler Family Settlement. That has a signing deadline of September 30th. I'm just getting up to speed on it, but I just need to be aware that we need to take some action in order to make sure that the town receives those funds. So my suggestion would be that you may want to appoint a person to be responsible for signing those documents if necessary.
How about the person in the office?
Yeah.
Oh, you good with that one?
Yeah.
Are you doing the reporting too?
Me?
No?
No.
You take it on, you take it on.
All right, you ready to go through the book?
You can.
Let's go. The bushes.
I have a phone call I haven't heard back from him, so
What are we gonna do next?
I'm just gonna, once I make communication, I'll just ask him to either trim them or remove them, trim them back further and down.
Are they obstructing the view
Yes.
safely? Can we just have the town trim them and send them?
Can you trim them back enough to get a good view?
We'll come back enough, don't worry.
I mean, do they just need removed, is the question. I don't know. I never go that far, so.
What legally can we do? I don't know, that's the question.
Well, it's probably on the, probably in the right way, right? It's gotta be off the highway. Yeah, it's off the state highways.
I would let me make contact with one, said I've got a phone call into him, usually takes them a little while to get back.
We've had prior contact with them, correct?
Yes, and
He
he
trimmed them.
he
So,
trimmed
so
back,
he's aware that we need to be kept in a state
yes,
that he's not keeping them.
yes.
It's not one assignment.
Yeah. He trimmed them, it's just, which we asked him to trim them, right?
Yeah, and he,
And then he trimmed them, and he just didn't trim them the way so that's what I'm saying, we probably need to, if we want them to be removed, we just need to say they need to be removed rather than trimmed, because they could show back up and trim 6 inches off, and then,
I think they trimmed it last time, I did half of it, the bottom half or
he
something.
trimmed the front, but he didn't do anything in the back.
Obviously, he doesn't go to that corner.
Yeah, he used to do that all the time, and now he's never in town.
so what are we doing with that one?
Well, the other thing we could do is put a stake in there and say, you gotta keep it trimmed to this point. And if he doesn't do that, then we trim it for him.
You wanna try to make contact with him again, or send him a letter, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to contact with him again. Tell him
But be very specific about how far back he needs to be.
We'll have to put statement here somewhere, telling us that we back to this point.
Okay, yeah. Okay. And then if he doesn't answer, maybe just send him a letter. Grigsby, you said you're working on the shed with him, right? And that,
Seymour Street property for those same people, we filed a motion with the court. Yes, with the judge opinion and set for status hearing, we not releasing that on that.
Okay. it's in the process. The place across from Becky. Is sleeping thing? Grigsby's. I think we've done what we needed to.
Oh, the door's been shut.
Nope.
No, it's back
It's
open.
back open.
Oh, is it?
Oh, sorry.
I know that the tenant is gone. The door's back open.
Back open. Did we send him a letter or anything?
Looking back to refresh my memory on this, I remember that Cody and I talked about it. We compiled a list of the things that should probably be addressed.
All over the street. There's a foundation.
See, we gotta put it down, maintain that house for it. That's down in the big trees that fall on there.
Yeah.
To the north, north of that shed, because of this, big one.
We'll come right back to it. The windmill, you sent some on that, Becky, didn't you? I think you did. No, you're fine. We can,
A little buddy ash fire.
you know. What about plumpets?
Becky has that letter on sheet. I will send it.
I have any suggestions in, there,
Yes.
and it's just missing a nothing substantive.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right,
Right, so that's going out.
that'll
And
go
what
out.
does it say?
Well, hold on, let me do my correction and you can look at it.
Give me the broad stroke. What do we have in do?
Basically tell them that they're in non-compliance, they've been accruing $100 per day fine since May 25th. So,
When he's in non-compliance by not cleaning out the loading dock and
repairing the
Tree line, aren't you?
Yep,
And they're on since,
Huh?
since when, what date?
So, he received a $100 fine after the first 30 days, and then May 25th started the $100 a day fine for non-compliance.
so he's up around $2,000.
Right. 9/1.
That's more than $2,000.
You want to talk on it?
That's about it. And he's not taking it seriously?
Nothing's been done. There's been nothing done there. He received the first letter. He finally acknowledged it through email that I forwarded on to you, and that has been it.
So how are we gonna get the 10 grand from it?
Well, But I'm sure once he gets this letter and does the math, he'll probably be contacting us relatively quickly.
Oh,
Well,
he's hard to deal with.
I know,
You do?
yes. My uncle was a brother to his father.
Okay. I knew his father.
My uncle Bob Hornet was a brother to his nephew.
He was Jim, right?
He is the last time he was in
Oh, yeah, he's got a lot of property.
get rid of it.
Yeah, that's what I would. He owns a bunch of factories.
Yeah.
It looks like the letter on the windmill property went out on approximately August 12th. I didn't get a copy of that receipt, you guys. I'll just- not sure. Yes, it looks like there's a copy of that on each. That letter.
Me? No. I home and eat stuff all the time. No.
So that letter gave that until August 27th. And so at that time, the town could initiate a legal action.
We haven't heard from him, right, Becky?
Has there been any? I haven't heard from them.
Okay.
Has there been
And
any?
I would say initiative.
Hmm? And did you find a letter? I don't think you sent a letter on this one, Ricky.
What's the other thing?
The one across from
The
you.
Grand Street.
Right?
No, I don't
I don't
find
think
the
you-
letter there. I do find the list.
Okay,
that,
that's what.
Cody and I came up with, so I can get a letter sent out on that. I think we talked about this before. I don't know if we decided that since they were making progress, we would get on some reading.
They weren't making any progress.
Yeah, I don't think you were supposed to send a letter. I just thought we were dealing with it and compiling the list.
Okay.
I've spoken with Ladonna,
Yes.
and she's giving them a heads up.
It's coming.
It's coming.
You're dealing with the quotes, yeah? We had something on this Jesse. I think you sent a letter to him, right, Becky?
Jesse Ocampo?
Yep.
Yes, I did. And he called, he was,
I don't know if he wants to put on his,
yes. And so did he contact you directly?
he contacted Walton.
Okay. He wants to be put on the agenda to come in and speak with all of you about his, thoughts about the correspondence he received and, about what can be done as far as the requirements of him in order to bring that property into compliance without having to necessarily significantly alter his business operations.
And so, what are those?
So perhaps, maybe a fence, and if there were a fence that were constructed in a way as were, maybe that's something you guys would want to consider.
What was that zone right? Is that right?
It's both zoning and, because it's operating, a business of and made sure that it's not zoned for. And then the presence of those restrooms in the town of ordinances.
So if he puts a fence up, he's hiding the nuisance. He'll continue, and can continue to violate that, right?
Well, but it really, if it's zoned right, he can get away, he could,
If it changes the zoning appropriately, then maybe there's a scenario where he operates a business.
out of the thing.
But
And
the issue is that the zoning ordinances allow, get this in front of me so that I make sure it's right.
because one had like did one have a junkyard? Yeah, it did. It was industrial, right?
Industrial, but he's not zoned industrial.
Correct.
He's zoned, I believe he's B2.
Yep.
Sorry, I
B2
don't remember
inside
if
business.
it's B1 or B2. B2?
I'm pretty sure B2 looks like it.
It's B2.
So if you look at the allowable uses in B2, and those are on page 78, you'll see that it does allow things like a commercial garage, but it does not anticipate that that would be outdoors.
Mm. Do we have one that actually says, what would that be called, like a, what do you call it, a junkyard?
So in order to have a junkyard properly zoned, you would need, first of all, to change the zoning to industrial, and then, once it's zoned industrial, you have to come to the BZA and get a special exception. So if you look under 156.168, which is on page 80, subsection 4, which is the second column of the page, outlines what can be in the I-1 district.
Here's the,
And so that would be under A3.
sorry, Becky, I was looking.
No problem. So in the second column, number 4, and then A, and then 3E. So it's just a few lines up from the bottom of the page.
What page?
E,
Because the one, B1 says, what does it say? Automobile repair within enclosed buildings.
right.
So say he did want to operate that, what would he want to be? Would he want to be zoned industrial?
To work on vehicles.
Well, I mean, he's a
indoors.
towing service, so what would that be under?
Exactly. And I think it's important to consider not just what does he call it, but what actually takes place there. So what actually takes place is that vehicles get towed there, wrecked and damaged and not hurt
Right.
vehicles, and then they get parked there indefinitely. So that starts to sound a lot more like a junkyard.
Yeah, that's why I was just, I mean, if he's gonna be at the meeting, that's why I was just kind of wondering.
Yeah, 'cause it was-
Because I mean, if he was towing them and storing them for 60 days and then they were leaving, that would be something different, obviously.
But like I said, he called and he had some questions and kind of wanted to have a conversation with somebody. It seemed like maybe he was looking for something in the realm of permission to do things a certain way, and that's not for me to decide, that's a decision for you.
Correct.
So
Okay.
I suggested if he was not able to bring it into compliance the way the letter stated, that would be something if he wanted to avoid legal action, his only option that would become curious.
This lot's full, right? It's too big.
Yeah,
Like,
a lot of those vehicles, he told me when I had a one-on-one with them, that they were just basically a storage lot for D1 towing out of Francisco.
So it's more, so it would be different if he was moving them. If he was bringing them in and storing them for so many days and then moving them, we would consider that something else, right?
Well, if he was doing it quickly enough, it might not run afoul of the nuisance ordinance.
Correct.
But the nuisance ordinance as it is, exterior storage of non-operating vehicles prohibited under 93.21 says that you can't leave a vehicle like that longer than 10 days.
So as a board, are we interested in any kind of variance there? Well, 'cause that's what he's gonna ask for.
Well, he's gonna have to have a rezone, right? To operate what he's doing out of there, because it's B2, I don't think they even allow that in B2.
Right.
So he's gonna have to have a rezone
Industrial.
to industrial.
And then, and through the plan commission, and then get a special exception through the BZA.
Yes.
And the BZA's decision will be final, and the BZA has the authority to impose conditions like a specific type of fence, and so many feet away from the road, and then so many number of vehicles, things like that. Reasonable conditions.
But the plan commission could say, hey, no. Not recommended, then it goes to BZA with the,
Goes to us.
So it goes from the plan commission will make either a favorable or non-favorable or no recommendation, and then that recommendation comes to you guys for final action.
so when does the BZA get involved?
After the rezone happens, if the rezone happens.
Okay, so if we say no on rezone, then the party's over.
Yeah, a lot of these don't agree with you. But they,
Or, I mean, if he brought the vehicles in and moved them, but just can't store them. You can store them inside. Because I think B2 allows that, right?
what we do, don't say.
So, okay. So we're good there, right?
Well, we understand what we're up against when it
Yep,
comes in.
exactly. Okay, this Pitt's house, but it's switched names.
Just a corner address. I think that's.
Allen Street, 112.
What are we talking about now?
112 West Allen, and switched.
Oh, hits?
Yeah, switch.
Half Harbor.
They were gonna work on it, right? I think Becky,
Becky sent a letter on 7/28.
Has anything been done?
you know.
I go by there, I do not see them.
Okay.
So I really don't know.
But I thought Becky was gonna send that letter.
Yeah, she was. I think she did.
Status on
Yeah, these were we're working on four other properties and we're.
You're
getting
last.
this one right
this.
away.
Yes. And I think, I want to say that maybe we gave them some extended time, but let me just.
Looks to me like they passed the extension.
Man, I think he told me it's secure as it was okay, right?
No, so he contacted me,
All about the front.
and he's going, he actually emailed me back and asked me to work, and I guess I'm doing that. And I don't know time.
I couldn't remember which completely done. Main Street.
That's what we,
Yes.
It looks like on July 28th, a letter went out on that property, on 112 West Allen, and it was a follow-up letter to the previous letter that had set a deadline. And this gives an extended deadline to August 15th. It looks like that's the most recent.
They get back to you on that.
Well, it's past August 15th. Let's make the next move.
The next move would be legal action. Is that what you want to have happen?
That's on the big,
That's on that Carter / formerly Pitts.
112 West Allen.
okay.
Good. With security, you're dealing with Schultz.
You skipped Smith,
Oh,
but he is making progress. I've been watching there, he's making progress, very slowly, but his progress done deeply.
I got Schultz.
Gary Schultz,
Yeah, he's got a little siding up.
So,
he did, on what side?
The south side.
I haven't seen.
Little.
so the court signed a continuous enforcement order in that, I believe that was for you guys.
Yes.
For Gary.
So we're good to go clean up outside if we need to.
Yes. And
So
then
what do we need to
keep
do?
track of that time and those costs, and then
We're gonna do
we'll
that.
set a damages hearing and get a judgment.
The vehicle was moved, the truck was in there, and was moved 2 weeks ago.
I mean, I drove by there a couple times. I don't see anything
It's for
that,
the structure, isn't it? Not the-
Yeah.
I don't think there's
Yeah,
much
one
that
abandoned
needs
vehicle
cleaned.
construction. But the, I will tell you, the northeast side of our house was bare wood on the roof, no shingles, and it's rotten, so that needs to be addressed sooner or later.
So how do we go about that?
It's, I mean, the letters we sent him, obviously, he's got to do those, he has to make progress, and it's fine, so.
Right, but what are we doing since it's not?
Like he is,
He started a little siding.
Yeah, check the south side there, by.
I'll drive by there on here, but
I mean, it's not like it's half of the house though.
Maybe a third of that little add-on,
At the little add-on, he started on this side.
take a gray, whitish.
Great.
Right, so we're not doing anything right now until you inspect it. Is that-
well, I mean,
what are we
the
doing?
letter that I sent out,
It's past time, you know.
and the letter the veterans sent out,
Okay,
I mean, he's over 300 bucks.
So the question is, if nothing else happens besides this little piece that he's doing, what can the town do next?
We can, clean up the outside.
Condemnations?
Potentially, if it rises to that level.
But, I mean, but right now, we're still capable of finding them legally, right? We can put that, we can lean on that as well. Which I thought was the plan if you did not apply, last week.
Yeah,
To
it
start,
was.
all right, so that's what we're doing.
yes.
Okay.
I mean, we have dates of all the letters, and the certified letters were sent, and, you know, received, communication from your office as well.
Okay, so who's triggering that?
So we monitor it.
Okay, so I'm letting Judy know that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Smith, we went over, he's making progress. The sign at the corner, are we still, we're not doing that.
We need to deal with that through the, once we get that.
Stan Berkler's, I don't know, I never get by it.
311 Street, Colorado.
Is it still bad?
They started,
They're moved, they've like cleaned some stuff up, they moved to the front, and they moved it to the back, and it's like,
Yeah.
there's,
Is this a shell game?
that's what I was looking for.
organized chaos, I do I call it. Unorganized chaos.
This is another one where we now have the ongoing enforcement order. It's emailed out to you once the judge signs one.
So it's good to go?
Yes, anything on the outside can be.
So
But
then,
again, you should, we should make contact and set a date for town's gonna come in and do that on, so that they don't just randomly wake up one day to control the property that they have no idea what's
Well,
going on.
also maybe a reminder that there's an enforcement order for them person and that they're incurring X amount a day, whatever it is, like. They know that, hey, now this is what's happening, this is what we're gonna do. They don't know that?
No.
What is that?
No,
That's one of those things where we're trying to keep track of the time spent on the property and
And at some point, to calculate what that fee is.
So the continuous enforcement that allows us to go and clean the property and move vehicles.
and the costs for the town's time, and if you have to rent a dumpster, if you have to like tow service, any of those costs that it takes to do the property.
The town be able to do a third-party contract with somebody, because the public works employees don't have time to go to all steps, all properties and clean up.
Potentially, yes.
Okay.
Okay, whose ball is it? Is that-
Like Ricky, we could work together on that if you want.
Some of these properties are taking days upon days.
Right.
Right, but I just wanna make sure everybody knows who's on first.
I don't want to hold that away for 3 days, but it's not the property, so.
Right. But it heads up to them that, hey, on this day, town employees are coming in, everything that's out there is going in as well.
So give them a letter statement.
Yeah, and maybe even an in-person conversation if they really kind of have a conversation. I just think that might help them.
Maybe get it.
when you guys go there, let me,
Okay.
you guys go there, let me know, I wanna go inspect the outside of the house, make sure there's nothing need to be addressed on the structure itself. I know there is, but on the roof and
You know how long they do?
Just use your guys, you know, work, you, that's, but
you all there, same time.
Dean facility, but we've already, you're waiting to hear back, right?
Well, like I said, I think it's time to just, I'm gonna contact again, say you're fine, started. And you didn't make a attempt to contact. You know, like the first time you contacted right away,
Yeah, you
and said he's selling, selling the property itself, he's still the owner, he's responsible for paying that.
cleaning it up.
So,
Okay. You good? Good, Mike?
Yeah, that we're gonna deliver. Okay, and then, Becky, we're waiting on the second appraisal from the SNS.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, 'cause I understand there's some interest there and then some skullduggery as well.
Okay.
So,
what does that mean?
that means that it was, well, it's a rumor, so I can't really.
I had to Google it too.
Would you look it up?
Hey, I'm impressed with spelled that. I had no idea where to start.
I would either.
Yes.
Okay, we're good? Anything else?
Now I've got a few things.
Okay.
Almost there. One, so when you're running these properties like the coil dock, the bushes on 24 and 5th Street, non-operating vehicles, down trees, crazy weeds, junk in these yards, there's statutes in place that allow us to give this notice for 10 days, it looks like. And then after those 10 days, it go in there and take action to bring them into compliance and then and I feel like there's a lot of things that we could easily be handling in this manner and not talking about every single month.
Right.
So,
Casey, right there.
so for like the bushes on 24 and 5th Street, after you get a hold of that guy, take note of that date and time, and somehow record that you talked to him. If they're still there in 10 days, we'll just have, these guys go down and clean it up. And like the dock, that it stopped since May, I would say whoever's been contacted, we send him notice that 10 days from now, it says between 10 and 60 days. If that's not done, then we're gonna do it. Otherwise, we're gonna be talking about it in 2026 or 2027.
What does it say? You have to at least 10, but no more
10
than
days,
60?
no more than 60.
I think that I would like, if you don't mind, to take a look, to make sure that we understand the context of that, and make sure that we know what the limitations of using that are.
Yeah, if you could research the heck out of that and make sure that you're understanding this.
Then we,
What it reads
so
like.
what you said, we could probably just give them a letter saying if this isn't done by this time, that our town employees will be doing and you will occur the cross.
Yeah. Look, that thing, have to read the whole thing and show.
Town,
Our legal counsel will double check that, but things sure read to me like they're way simpler than we make them a lot of times.
yeah, and the thing is that town employees would include people you hire to go in and do it.
Yes, it says that contractors of a municipal corporation can end that property as well and take the action, and bring it into compliance.
So you don't have to worry about your town employees being burdened with that. You get somebody to go in and do it and get it out of it.
That'd be helpful.
I feel like a good understanding of that statute and how it exactly works would greatly benefit.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I have was that we talked about adding a town board signature to the Kentland Bank. That way, if we ever end up in a situation where Judy can't sign a check.
I have it still.
Okay, so we should probably have
Hey,
we should probably have a board signature.
I asked Martin Robinson years ago
Yeah, so
to
hold on a second.
add on somebody else's name, she would want me to do it.
Yes, so for now, I think we should look, I think we know the way to probably do that, or we should at least table this until next, can we talk at the next special meeting?
Well, I do have a
So-
stand back there and I showed one in their wax.
All right, we will look into that then, and, at the next
Cause
meeting.
all you gotta do is stamp my name on it.
All right, you good?
Yep. Got a motion for adjournment.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, Judy.